And as Trump makes his announcement today, the markets and many are reacting to the sweeping tariffs on practically all goods coming into the United States.
All right, joining us now to break it all down is Barron senior economics writer Megan Leonhardt. Megan, thanks so much for being with us. All right, let's start with the big tariff announcement we saw over the past hour. Your thoughts? I'm seeing specifically reporting that the tariffs were higher than many were expecting. What's your reaction?
I think that half the people watching are surprised on the upside, and those watching are surprised on the downside, as we like to say in the markets world. I genuinely don't know that anyone was going to be happy with today's announcement. It is one of those situations where I think there were some surprises, certainly around the specific countries that are receiving rather high reciprocal tariffs. But, I do think that, the administration has floated this idea of a 10% sort of more universal tariff before. So I don't know that that was super surprising out of all of this. But again, we're still parsing all the details of this. We're obviously still getting some of those details as well. And, President Trump did say previous to his announcement today that some of this may be negotiated still. So I'm not sure that any of these rates are holding as steady, for the permanency, if you will.
Yeah, so it might not be the final number there. Of course, one of the concerns with these tariffs is that ultimately the cost is going to be passed down to the consumer. It's being sold as short-term pain for long-term gain. Is that how you see it unfolding?
I do think that, a number of prominent economists have come forward saying that we are expected to see higher prices because of these tariffs. And of course, we start to look at the previous tariffs, for example, in the 2018-2019 years. And I think that those can be maybe perhaps a good roadmap for this. We did see some, hits to GDP, for example. We saw some hits to economic growth, a little bit on the employment side. And we did see inflation tick up a little bit. Now, there is cause to be concerned that this time is a very different environment. We do have inflation above the Fed's 2% target already. And of course, we are seeing a little bit of slowdown in the broad U.S. economy. And so this could be one of those situations where, because of the magnitude, because of the environment, these tariffs do end up hitting households and businesses a little bit more than the last round of tariffs that we did see under the first Trump administration.
And Megan, the announcement came right before the close of trading today, so it was tough to get the gauge of Wall Street. How do you expect the markets to react tomorrow and going forward?
I do think that there will be some reaction. I mean, I do think that everyone is going to be watching futures over the next couple of hours to see, kind of how things start to move. I would also expect a fairly significant movement in some of those foreign markets, particularly, in areas that were hit perhaps a little bit harder than we initially anticipated. It is interesting, though, because I didn't notice, and it could just be, I haven't quite been able to dig into the details yet. It didn't seem that Canada or Mexico had additional reciprocal tariffs, but again, details are still coming out, and so I'd hate to say that this is, the permanent end solution to what we saw for the tariffs already enacted on those countries.
All right, Megan, we appreciate your intel. Thank you so much.
Thank you.